Sure, you can start a debate, but everybody knows when it comes to E3 this year, specifically 2021, not just Nintendo, but all-encompassing announcements, we're all looking at it for Breath of the Wild 2. Whether you're a Zelda fan or not a Zelda fan, Breath of the Wild was a huge, gigantic deal when it comes to the video game industry. And Breath of the Wild 2 is that one game that everyone is waiting to see if there's going to be release of information or not. Now, a bunch of insiders and leakers all pretty much unanimously agree that at this year's E3 that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to make some sort of appearance. Whether it be big, spectacular, a huge chunk of a direct, a specific direct is really up in the air, but the big thing that everyone agrees on is that Breath of the Wild has to appear, that's gonna appear, and that it really should appear. But when it comes to Breath of the Wild's announcement at E3, there also comes the debate about when Breath of the Wild 2 is going to release. Is it going to release this year alongside with Skyward Sword HD, which is coming out in July? Or is it going to be pushed back, or is it going to truly release in 2022? Now, the reason why I bring out this conundrum is that various insiders and leakers are actually in a quabble, not really against each other, but from what they understand and predict with their available information on when Breath of the Wild 2 is truly going to release. And the big two kickers are 2021 or 2022. Now, I was always on the boat of the 2020 team, and that didn't work out for me entirely. And I'm still sad, and I still, like, it hurt me really hard. But hey, we got Age of Calamity, which I really did enjoy. I 100% it. I can't wait for that DLC. Nintendo, show me what you got. But when it comes to Breath of the Wild 2, I want to firmly believe that 2021 could be the year, this year, at the end of the year, possibly to release alongside the mysterious Nintendo Switch Pro, which a lot of people within the industry said that Nintendo is apparently scaling up for a release at the end of this year. You know, holiday season, gotta get that good money, that Christmas money, that Hanukkah money, that whatever you decide to celebrate, depending on your religion, when it comes to holiday money. But then, of course, according to other information, it does state that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, that Breath of the Wild 2 within Nintendo got hurt the most in terms of development when trying to develop from home and the development schedule of the game, in which that although the original intent may have been 2021, that's no longer feasible thanks to what happened with the pandemic, and that is going to be scaled to possibly spring 2022. When it comes to the 2021 holiday season, that is coming out of Jeff Grubb, who has been very credible when it comes to information inside the industry and of course predictions when it comes out to certain games or whatnot. Jeff Grubb made a very funny tweet that a lot of people take into heart, and I feel that we all should take to heart when it comes to a meme of Breath of the Wild 2 creeping up the release date announcement for Horizon Forbidden West. Now, Horizon Forbidden West is another game that, you know, gets competitive and debated and compared to that of Breath of the Wild, especially with its concept and when the original game released, Horizon Zero Dawn with Breath of the Wild. And that Horizon Forbidden West is slated to release this year, 2021. It's just that we don't have a release date, and we possibly could get a release date sometime around E3 time, but Sony is not going to be at the show. Apparently, the biggest takeaway from this is that Breath of the Wild 2 is scaled to compete in terms of release time for Horizon Forbidden West. And of course, we're taking this with a grain of salt when it comes to Horizon Forbidden West's release date still scaling for 2021. It could be pushed back to 2022. We have no idea because we don't have a true, concise release date, just that of 2021. So that's Grubb's take on Breath of the Wild 2's possible release date. Now, when it comes to Zippo states that according to this information that Breath of the Wild 2 got really hit hard, like I said before, by the pandemic of the coronavirus. And that according to his predictions, spring 2022 is going to be the best bet for Breath of the Wild 2. Now, these two release dates, I feel that's, you know, pretty understandable, but, you know, as it pains me to admit it, I feel that spring 2022 might be the biggest bet when it comes to the true release date of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, considering that Skyward Sword is coming out in July, and you would think that, oh, is Nintendo crazy enough to put two massive Zelda games, even though Skyward Sword HD is a remake, in the same year of release? Well, Nintendo has done it before, so I mean, that's not something, you know, to keep away from that, but At the end of the day, Skyward Sword is a pretty meaty Zelda game. The story is pretty substantial and it could get pretty long, and of course you can play over again in Hero Mode. Right now it's truly unknown if Hero Mode is going to be available from the beginning, but I guess we're going to have to find out at this year's E3. So to have Breath of the Wild 2 and Zelda fans ready for Breath of the Wild 2, I feel that a good amount of time could be slated between that of Skyward Sword HD and Breath of the Wild 2's release date. But I want to know what you guys think when it comes to 2021 and 2022. When do you think Breath of the Wild 2 can release, and are you excited for this year's E3? You guys already know it's E3 speculation time, and I can't wait for what is in store from Nintendo. Breath of the Wild 2, that's the biggest bet. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, favorite, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK for more Nintendo and Breath of the Wild 2 news and updates and videos. Big thanks to my Patreon supporters for helping making this video happen. If you want to find out how you support HMK for just $1 a month, check out my info in the description box below. Alright guys, until the next video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.